47% of gamers agree this Xbox Game Pass feature is absolutely game-changing, and I'm not going to lie, I'm really actually surprised with the results of this poll. Now, over 700 people responded to this poll. This poll was here on YouTube. Huge shout out to everybody who participated, and I thought it'd be worthwhile to just go over because I think it's absolutely fascinating to look at what value players see in Game Pass specifically. So if you're new to this channel, if you're new to Xbox, Game Pass is basically a subscription service model that Microsoft is moving to here. It's becoming the key focal point of their gaming business model. Think of it like Netflix or Disney Plus or HBO Max or Amazon Prime for video games, though. You pay a monthly fee. $16.99 is the top end fee there for access to Xbox games on PC, console, and the cloud. Now, it's incredibly diverse. There's a lot of games there. The other aspect to this is that Xbox drops their first-party games here at launch as well. And whether you're on PC or console, you're able to play those games as long as you're subscribed to Game Pass without having to purchase them. Now, you don't have to purchase Game Pass. You can just buy the games separately, individual. However, the economics work out that it's the best value in gaming in my mind. And so I said, well, let's see what players think of Game Pass. What's the selling point? And so this was the poll. What's the biggest selling point for Xbox Game Pass? Diverse game library, the sheer variety of games available, day one releases, access to new games as soon as they're released, affordable gaming, it's a cost-effective option compared to buying games, or cross-platform play, the ability to play on console, PC, and cloud. Now, for me, I assumed that the number one answer would be diverse game library. It wasn't. As you can see here, it was day one releases, which is fascinating to me. Day one releases, 47% of people say that having immediate access to Xbox first-party titles right away on Game Pass is the appeal, right? This is the biggest selling point for them. Now, affordable gaming comes in also at 24% here. It's the cost-effective option compared to buying games. Cross-platform play was actually last. So players don't really care, it seems, about being able to play on console, PC, and the cloud. Now, here's the thing. When I think about that, that actually makes sense because I have friends who are subscribed to Game Pass who only own a PC. I have friends who are subscribed to Game Pass who only own an Xbox. And then there's weirdos like myself who have both and play on both. But I'm the exception. I don't think I'm the rule. But cross-platform play is not the appeal. It is an appeal to me. I love being able to play wherever I want, whenever I want. And I do that, but that's unique. It's interesting that just day one releases is number one. And if you think about it, the Xbox brand is built off of uniqueness. The PlayStation brand, in the same way the PlayStation brand is built off unique titles. Hey, come play on PlayStation because of these unique titles. Come play on Xbox because of these unique titles. Whether it's Flight Simulator, whether it's Halo, excuse me, I've got a cold here. Whether it's Hellblade or Gears of War or any of their first-party titles, that's the real appeal, and that's been the selling point for Xbox fans. So it does make sense that is the biggest appeal and the selling point. Sony is not going this route at all. They do not include on their subscription service their day one releases. Granted, they don't have to. They're the number one selling console between Xbox and PlayStation at the moment, so they're leading. They don't need to at all. Xbox doesn't have that luxury. But I do think this is a good thing, and it makes sense that is the reason that is the value proposition. That's the biggest selling point for players. Interesting. And I wonder if that is different for console players versus Xbox players, or versus PC players rather. If PC players are as concerned, if we were to break this down just to console players and then just the PC, does this change at all? Excuse me. I wonder if the value proposition, the affordable gaming proposition, increases at all on PC. That would be my assumption. But again, my assumption here was wrong as well. Let's go down and go through some of the comments to this post and just see what players say. SMMUFC, Manchester United, yeah, baby, says, never found a poll so difficult to answer. It's all of those. Amen. It really is. So that's the thing. Game Pass gives you a diverse library of games. You get day one releases. It's absolutely the best value in gaming, and you can play those anywhere that you want. So all four of those are selling points. It's just which one is the top selling point. Excuse me. Sorry again. I have this cold. Let me take a drink of water here. Just a scratchy throat. All right. Kiz Jizz. He's got a whole thing. Says the allure for new subs is the day one games. They stay for the variety, then realize the value they get from the sub. That's an actually really interesting point, especially when they pick up their phone and have a go at xCloud and carry on from where they left off on their console or PC. Yeah, you can see. So cloud is not perfect at the moment, but you can see where the future is, and the future is exactly what Kiz Jizz said right here. Well said, yeah. So he says the allure is the day one games. They stay for the diversity and then realize the value from there and then never leave. I mean, once you have it, I can never not have Game Pass at this point. If Game Pass were to fail, which it doesn't look like it's going to, it's wildly successful. I don't know that I can ever go back. In fact, when a game is not on Game Pass, it hurts. It punches me in the gut. It hurts. So, well said, Kiz Jizz. Let's see. Silent Billy says it's the best option for console users in general. If you pay for the ultimate, you get tons of games. You have your online play covered and can take your games on the go on phone, laptop, or Steam Deck style device. That's right. That's key. The Steam Deck style, the ROG Ally. It's a huge selling point for sure. All K6 says it's a good option for PC users too. Microsoft enabled me to purchase a rig of my choice and still enjoy all their games. Great point. Apologies again. That's a great point. I myself have been thinking, why don't I just build a ballsy gaming PC? And the only thing I use it for is gaming. And then I could play some of these games at 120 frames per second. I can just crank them up all the way, and it's on my gaming rig of choice. That's a really great point. Let's scroll down to the bottom. Average Gaming Dad says all of the above. I mean, I think they're all. Absolutely. Rob's World of Gaming says not all third-party games come to Game Pass, so without Xbox banger exclusives, it's all second rate compared to PS Plus, which has way more games. They're just not giving free new games away. Is that a good point? Let me think. It's a good point in the respect that going forward, really the success of Game Pass will depend on, in the same way that Netflix and Disney Plus and Amazon Prime, it really will depend on these blockbuster first-party studio games that go out and get news for you, right? So it's why Amazon spent so much money on Lord of the Rings show, which sucked, by the way. If you like it, don't at me. It's why Netflix has Witcher, for instance, or Stranger Things. Those kind of blockbuster hits get people to subscribe because they want to play those, and you get the added benefit of getting it at this subscription price, and you get access to all these other games. I mean, look at like Paramount Plus right now. It's why Paramount Plus has Yellowstone, for instance, or they had Halo Master Chief over there. They want you to come into their subscription, and then they know that they'll be able to keep you with their value proposition. So that's it for me. Let's take some questions here. So considering the diverse library, are subscription services like Xbox Game Pass making gaming more accessible to different audiences? 100%. 100%. Here's why. Because the strategy for Game Pass is not just, we just talked about them having to have these big blockbuster titles, but it buys them time. If you don't have one this month, you don't have one next month, you can focus on diversity. You can focus on getting, okay, we need this genre of game for this player type. We need this genre of game for this player type, and this genre for game for this player type. And you're able to build out diversity, thus making games more accessible to everyone, right? You have to have something. A successful subscription gaming service will have something for everyone. So absolutely, the diversity is a key component of that. And as a result, will make gaming more accessible to wildly different audiences. For instance, there are people who only play Call of Duty. Guess what Microsoft has now? There are people who only play World of Warcraft. There are people who only play Dota or Madden or, all the different football manager style games, strategy games. And if you have a good library of that, you'll come over and play, and then you'll experience other games as well, because there's no risk on a subscription service. I can jump in and try out a game. There's no risk to me. It costs me the same price whether I tried it out or didn't. So I might as well try it out. I think it's why it's the future of gaming, honestly. Next question, last question actually. What could be the long-term impacts on game development and pricing models in the industry due to the popularity of services like Xbox Game Pass? I mean, I think I'm going to repeat what Microsoft said and Phil Spencer said in the emails that leaked to Activision Blizzard. During the Activision Blizzard acquisition, these emails leaked, he said that basically they're enabling developers, a subscription service enables developers to take risk, particularly big boy developers. So for little guys, it gives you an audience. So you can get exposure where you otherwise would not have exposure, where otherwise you're cut off and you've got to hope someone big streams your game or something like that. This gives you a built-in audience, a built-in exposure for you if you're a little guy. Now, if you're a big guy, you're not going to be as dependent. This is Phil Spencer's thinking. This is Microsoft's thinking and their strategy here. You're not going to be as dependent on nailing big blockbuster hits that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. You can take a risk because the subscription model insulates you from that risk. It's why, think about it, it's worked out that way in movies. Think about the early 2000s, the late 90s, every weekend, big movies, good movies, variety of movies dropping, fantastic movies. Why? Because was it Matt Damon that said they could make it up on the back end with Blu-rays? Well, that no longer exists. And look at where movie state is at today. We get repeats of sequels all the time of big brand names because they can't take a risk, because there's no way to make up that money. So where are the best movies and televisions happening right now? They're happening on subscription platforms because you're insulated from that risk. It's the same. It's going to be the same with gaming, I think. I think we're going to see the same way play out. Microsoft thinks we're going to see that same way play out. So I think we're at the dawn of the golden age of gaming. I've said that before. If you listen to this channel or you've subscribed for a while, you've heard me say it ad nauseum. And yeah, I think this is a part of that. I think we're going to see more creativity. I think we're going to see more risk taking. I think we're going to see more variety coming out of game development in the future because of popularity of services like Xbox Game Pass. Absolutely. I would love to know what you guys think. Did the results of this poll surprise you? Let me know in the comments below. Did it not surprise you? Is there something that we missed? Is there an appeal here that we're missing? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you like what we're doing here. My name is X1 the Gamer. We drop videos like this about Xbox all the time. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.